Okay, Jeremy. Let's talk about focus on the family.
Okay. Focus on the Family was a format at the time. You had wrote a person that I was close to, and you was given the dynamics of a tree and comparing it to people. So when he shared that with me, I was in the process of creating formats for a mental health unit, and I had to basically come forth with program formats that we can sit down and have a schedule to be able to teach life skills to individuals that was incarcerated and didn't get those life skills before they was incarcerated, whether they suffered with mental challenges or substance use, substance abuse. This is what this unit was for. But we had a handful of peers, and that was our responsibility. We all had to teach a course or to educate on a subject. So when you did that, that helped me. I looked at the dynamics of a tree, and I was able to compare them to people in our lives. So the roots of the tree became the dependable people in our lives that never go anywhere, because the roots of a tree, they may grow for miles. And even when that tree is chopped down, the roots still exist. So no matter what we went through while incarcerated, the people that stuck with us or the elders that we respected, those was our roots. So as you go up the tree, you have the tree trunk. That is the stability of the tree. It's the midpoint, and it's what stabilizes the tree. It's the midpoint between the roots and the branches. So those were the stable people that we could always confide in. Or we may be the stability in the family. So the trunk of the tree represented the stable people in our lives or the stable people in our family. Now we're going up to the branches of a tree. The branches, they spread out and they're attached to the stability, which is the trunk, but they can't handle too much weight. If you put too much weight on the branch, what it's going to do is going to break. So we had those people in our family that we can't pour all our problems and our burdens on, else they're going to back up or they're going to withdraw from us, or they may need some support after we talk to them, or we keep saying, hey, I need this, hey, I'm going through this, hey, this is going on. They can't handle that. Mm-hmm. But they're always a part of us, and they're always right there helping us become stable or attached to our stability, or our stability may hold them afloat. Going to the leaves of the tree is seasonal. So the leaves of the trees represented the seasonal people in our life. You might have an uncle or aunt that comes over during Thanksgiving or Christmas. You never see them again. Mm-hmm. You may have a girlfriend that you love to death, and that you don't understand that was just a phase in your childhood. So you're always referencing back to this individual and saying that was the love of my life. But that was a seasonal person. People come in and out of our lives for different reasons, and then they may depart or we don't see them no more again. That's a seasonal person. So the leaves represented the seasonal people in our lives, whether it was family member, friend, or anybody that may come in, come out, or we just meet for a period of time. The fruit of the tree, every tree harvests either some type of reproduction aspect, whether it's a nut, and the nut falls and goes in the ground and creates another tree, or a seed within the fruit, or a vegetable. So that was the reproduction of the tree, which was the children. So the fruit of the tree, we was able to teach and educate on childhood aspects, where you may have 4 siblings, and we will have examples of each sibling and where that person fitted in, because at times we look at the people in the position that they play in our life. Like we may look at daddy as daddy and say he wasn't a good father because fathers are supposed to do this. A father's supposed to do that, but we're not looking at the man that was my father. Mm-hmm. My mother's supposed to do this, mother's supposed to do that, but we're not looking at the woman that my mother is. So we're not looking at what the person may have went through to structure them to be how they was. And we play the blame game, especially when you're incarcerated. You want people to do your time with you. You want people to understand you more than what they have to do to survive in your departure or in your absence. The same thing with siblings. We may look at it like, okay, my brother, my sister's supposed to be there for me no matter what in life. But we're not looking at the person that your sister is, or the person that your brother is, and why they are the way they are, because they're uniquely them. So Through that analogy, I was able to put it all together as focus on the family. That format, and I still have now, and it takes a person through the family dynamics. It takes a person step by step on understanding the family dynamics, because we always look for a utopia in the sense of the Brady Bunch or the Cosbys, and we don't never look back to say, okay, I used to like Good Times more than I used to like the Cosbys, or I used to like All in the Family better than the Brady Bunch, So that comes in the reason where that you can identify and recognize aspects of your family and every other family. We all have dysfunction. We all argue. We all go through things. But at the end of the day, family's family. So you know which aspect of your family fits somewhere in the tree, whether they're a branch or they're a leaf. They may be fruit as far as just good for nothing but reproducing in your mind. But at the same time, they actually may be the trunk. They may be your stability, the person that you can talk to no matter what's going on. You can confide in them, and that's it. You can't be around them. You can't go nowhere with them, and you just not your type of person. But they got that listening ear where you can talk to them about anything. You can confide in them with things that you can't confide in nobody else in the family with. So we have to look at things like that and make learning creative, make learning fun. So that was the challenge that we had with individuals that was getting incarcerated, because see, the law doesn't have a face. So any and everybody that breaks it, you're going to get the same punishment. But that's what we have to look at in the sense of everybody is not equivalent in being able to handle that type of isolation, that type of bondage in the sense of being incarcerated. So these units were structured to be able to help individuals that was put in an environment they couldn't possibly survive. But while they was in these units, we educated them so that they could be better people once they got released. So they could be better family members and understand the family dynamics better. Whether they didn't know how to properly wash their clothes, just do regular things in our mind was dynamic to them. So we would mentor them and peer them to the point where they was better when they left than when they came.
Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome.